Alright, today we're going to be creating and editing templates. Let's go ahead and sign in. Notice all I need to do is hit the Enter key once we have selected where you want to go here. So you don't have to click on it with your mouse. Just a little faster way of getting in. Let's go ahead and edit a template first. So the first thing we need to do is choose one. So just for simplicity, we'll pick this general note here. And then we're going to click the Edit Template button. It'll bring up that Word document in the template mode. Okay, you notice that we have brackets around certain things, and some things look reasonable, like current date is the current date. The bracket indicates that this is what's called a bookmark, and it pulls that information from the database. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to place our cursor where we want the information to flow to. So we're going to say we're going to push some information right there. We just go ahead and minimize that. And we're going to push this information that's in this field there. So what you do is you hold the Shift key down and click in the box there. And notice that when we look at the Word document now, it has something in that spot. Now if you notice that here it is showing it in bold, that's very easy. You just can change that. So whatever you've done to the bookmark is going to display it in that fashion. So if I put this in italics, it would display everything in italics. So also we're going to put a statement next to it. So let's just say, suppose we want to say how long they've been experiencing their symptoms. So here we have this drop down, and it has these indications, like in this case it has for many years. So I'm going to go ahead and put a sentence in there, and I'll say the patient has been suffering and has been suffering these symptoms, and then we can make a space and put that information right here. You notice that this is also larger than this, so basically we can just make that all the same size just by copying that style there. So right here we're going to put the next bookmark, and that's this one for many years. So we hold the Shift key down and we click in that box, and we'll notice that we have bookmark there. And we'll put a period at the end of it because it is a sentence. So all I have to do is close the template and save it. So now that template is available for all patients. So you go ahead and create the report, click here, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so it shows here the statement that flows to that report now from that field that we pulled it from here, and it also shows the patient's been suffering these symptoms for many years, and it makes a complete sentence just by doing it that way. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to create a new template. Okay, so we open the reports, and suppose we want to do one that's a lot like the existing interpretation, but we want to minimize it or change it in some way. So let's just go ahead and open that up in the template mode. That's where we see all the bookmarks. We're going to do Control A to mark all, Control C to copy all that, and just close that document because we're done with it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new document, a new template. So we push the button here, Create New Template, and it asks you what are you going to call it. So let's just call it the we're going to call it Superficial Interpretation. Alright, and we're going to associate it with the vein workup, and we're also going to associate it with the tab of the initial ultrasound. So we can see that we associate it with this module and this tab here. Alright, so now we just make my new report. So what I'll do is I'm going to paste, that's just going to open up a blank sheet, but the system is going to need to know where to put it, so how to bring that up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and just paste that document into that blank sheet. Control V, and it doesn't look right, so all you do is you take this and you keep the source formatting, and it left the big space here. So what you can do is you can go into the view here and view in the outline mode. You can see it's got all kinds of stuff in there. So one thing is this is a page break. It doesn't need to be in there. So you go ahead and delete that, and then we can go back to the page view of the print layout. So, and then we come up here and we just get rid of some of that extra space. Now, what it'll do sometimes if you have columns, you need to recolumn this. So you just do that, and then go to page layout and put 3 columns, and there you have it. So this is in the format of the old one. So this is the one for superficial. So we're actually in the document. We can see it at the top of the page as superficial interpretation. So this is the document. So I'm going to go ahead and just take all this stuff out here because it pertains to the deep system. And now we have examination, the right grade saphness, and it's all about the superficial vein. So we just close it. And you can go ahead and put your letterhead on here. So you can double click it and open up the header and put it in the header if you like. Or you can just put it right on top of the page. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and save that document, and you'll see how it comes out. Go to the reports, probably at the end of the list. There it is, a superficial interpretation. Now, in case somebody else doesn't know what it's for, you can say this is an interpretation for superficial vein exam only. So you can say what it's for. And at any point in time, you can go ahead and change the name of that if you want by coming up here and saying rename report. You hit go and you change the name if you want. But right now we like that name, so we'll go ahead and just run the report and see what it comes out like. And there you have it. So what we did is we edited the original one, and now this is just for superficial veins. That's all we have there, and that's our report. And we would put our letterhead right up there. So it's perfect. All right, that concludes today's lesson.